Hello friends, welcome to EduTap. So in this interview series with toppers for SEBI Grade A, today I have with me Mr. Abhishek Kumar from Jamshedpur, Jharkhand. He has recently cleared SEBI Grade A 2020 exam. He is basically a BTech in mechanical engineering from Jadavpur University, Kolkata, and he has been working in Reliance as a maintenance engineer since last 2 years. It's a very interesting story how SEBI happened to him. We will get into the details of that. And he was also able to clear some of the prestigious institutions for MBA programs, but he could not join because of some or the other reasons. We will not get into details of that. So Abhishek, first of all, congratulations for clearing SEBI Grade A. I think it must have been a feeling of great satisfaction that you have cleared one of the most prestigious organizations of India.
Thank you, sir. Yes, it was a matter of very happiness for me that I was able to clear such a prestigious regulator of our country. Thank you, sir.
Welcome. So Abhishek, one question that comes to my mind is that you are not from a commerce background, but that's okay. A lot of engineers are into SEBI, but then a lot of those engineers are either in the banking sector or are in the IT field. It's very rare to see a mechanical engineer joining SEBI. So that's a kind of a surprise to me. So how did SEBI happen? So being not from a commerce background, being not from IIT, being not from IIM, and not even from the banking sector, how did you decided to go for SEBI?
So for that, I will like to take you back to 2019 when I was preparing for my MBA. I never thought of joining any government institute. I always thought that after my joining Reliance, I will do an MBA. So I was preparing for CAT in 2019. I got decent percentile and I managed to convert IIM Kozhikode and was waitlisted in FMS Delhi. But as we all know, in 2020, lockdown was imposed. So due to some personal reasons, and my family told me that it is not worthwhile to pay 20 something lakh rupees to do an online MBA. So I decided to drop my plan for MBA. But after dropping, I thought that I have dropped such a prestigious college, then I should aim for something that will be able to compensate what I have sacrificed. So I started thinking about that, what I should do now. So I had heard about RBI and SEBI back in my college days. So I started going through the syllabus of RBI and SEBI. And I found that I should start for RBI. So I started preparing for RBI on 1st June 2020. I had hardly prepared for 2 months when one of my friend called me and said that he is preparing for SEBI, and SEBI deadline had been extended to 31st July, I think. So I decided that I should give SEBI syllabus a chance, that I should see if its syllabus is suitable for me or not. So I saw that the syllabus for finance and management was same as RBI, and there were 4 other subjects like accounts and commerce, costing, Companies Act, and economics. Economics was little bit different, but it was manageable. Some topics I've already studied in last semester of my engineering, and some topics of costing and accounts also, like balance sheet, just in time, Kanban, Kaizen. These topics are already covered in the last semester of my college and industry management subject. So I thought these are not very hard. These subjects are doable. If I did into my engineering, I can do it here also. And rest of subjects like Companies Act and accounting standard, I thought SEBI has permitted engineers to sit through the exam, so they want engineers to give this exam. So I thought let's give it a try. So I started preparing for SEBI specifically from 1st of August 2020. I had already studied 2 subjects, finance and management. All I had to do was study the rest of the other 4 subjects. So I started my journey from 1st June 2020.
So you almost read for around 6-7 months for SEBI, dedicated.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So Abhishek, before I move ahead, I would also like to tell the viewers that Abhishek is not part of paid courses for EduTap. Basically, he did self-study through some sources which were available free, right? So he used EduTap's finance and management material from the account of his friend who was preparing for RBI Grade B. So he used the material from there. And apart from that, he used various other sources from Google, right, along with YouTube videos on our YouTube channel, on the EduTap's YouTube channel. And he didn't even use the ICI material, which most of the people who do self-study, they use it. He did not use that. He find it too long. And he did not even read the Companies Act, BEAR Act, which most of the students who do self-study do so. So it was a unique kind of preparation. But yes, I think if you are smart, any kind of preparation from any of the sources can help you, because then you know what is required and you tend to manage that. So that's a really good work, Abhishek. We will get into the details of your sources later. I just wanted to clarify to our viewers as of now. So now moving ahead, Abhishek, what is your view on people from non-commerce background thinking that it might be difficult for them to clear this exam? What is your view on this? Is it really difficult for non-commerce?
No, sir, it is not difficult at all. I never thought during my journey that this might be difficult for me as an engineer. I never thought that. I always thought that SEBI has permitted engineers to sit in this exam, so they want engineers to give this exam. And engineers are there nowadays in every field, whether it is UPSC, whether it is RBI, whether it is SEBI, whether it is NBA. Engineers are everywhere. So if engineers can crack even the toughest exams of our country, then SEBI is not a difficult exam at all.
Exactly. And you did 6 to 7 months of your preparation. You did 6 to 7 months of preparation for SEBI, and you were working at that time also. So now, since you had tasted the preparation, in your view, for a working candidate, how much time is sufficient to clear this exam?
So for working candidate, it is quite difficult because they have to work, and after coming home, they are very much tired. To take time apart for preparation also. So it is difficult, but it is manageable. Like I did it, and many other candidates are also working candidates. They have been able to successfully clear this exam. So it is difficult, but it is manageable to crack this exam.
Okay. So in your view, around 6 to 7 months for a working candidate, that shall be sufficient.
Yes, sir.
If you are consistent.
Consistent.
Yeah.
Consistent. Yeah.
Fine. So Abhishek, you did a lot of self-preparation, right? Apart from some help which you took from EduTap in reading finance and management notes from your friend's account, giving some mock test, free mock interview. Apart from that, you did a lot of self-preparation. So what are the challenges you think a candidate faces while he's doing self-preparation?
So self-preparation, I was from a non-commerce background. So first of all, I didn't know what to study, how much study, and in what depth I should go. Like if I'm reading accounts and commerce, I'm reading, but I don't know that what type of questions will be asked in exam, and in what depth. Like will they ask easy question, will they medium question, will they very hard question that we have to be very knowledgeable about that. So these are challenges that a person doing self-study will face, and more importantly from a non-commerce background. So to overcome this challenge, I thought of giving mock tests. Mock test helped me a lot in the course of my preparation. And mock test basically gave me an idea that what type of questions will be asked in exam and what will be the level of those questions.
Exactly.
And yes, sir.
तो आपने बहुत ज़्यादा mock test दिए मतलब?
काफी ज़्यादा, 50 mock test I think.
50 mock test. And now, if I come to the subjects which are asked in the exam, as per you, what are the 2 most scoring subjects for you?
For me, most scoring subjects was finance and economics.
Finance and economics. So you like bit conceptual, numerical subjects, basically number-based subjects, conceptual subjects. Not management in your view. Management is not scoring.
Management is scoring, but this time they asked very
confusing question.
Very confusing question. Like there was a question related to a spokesperson that what role is manager performing here? That was related to Henry Mintzberg's role of management. So it was the opinion was very much divided. That 50% of people are saying the option is something, and 50% people saying the option is something else. So
I agree to that. Even when we made the answer key, we had our doubts. So that happens for some of the questions. And 2 toughest sections according to you, or the least scoring section?
I would not say least scoring, but yeah, toughest for me to crack was accounts and commerce because I wasn't from that background. And second was Companies Act because we have to remember a lot. There are lots of sections, lot of penalties, and all. So these 2 sections were toughest for me.
Great. And Abhishek, now since you did self-preparation, so I would like to ask you about the sources which might be helpful for the candidates who did self-preparation. So for FM, you said you read financial management from RBI course of your friend's account. So that's almost
Yes.
like, there was a ready-made material for you.
Yes, sir.
What about commerce and accountancy? That's a very conceptual subject. Did you follow, you said you did not follow ICI material, which in most of the cases, people who do self-study, they refer that. So what did you use for commerce and accounts?
So there were free materials available on from some other sources on internet. I downloaded that, but I knew that these are not going to be sufficient. I just use it as a base for my preparation. And then I started giving mocks and free MCQs available on Telegram and YouTube. I have basically solved 2500 MCQs from mock test and 2500 MCQ from different sources on Telegram and YouTube. So total 500 MCQs I have solved, and that gave me an idea that what I am missing from my sources. So whenever I used to come across new concept, I used to Google it. So in Investopedia or some other sites, and used to add it to my notes, either digital notes or handwritten notes, and then I used to study and revise it from there. So sources plus mocks plus MCQs was the base of my preparation.
Plus YouTube videos.
Yes, plus YouTube videos.
And what about costing? Again, the source for costing? Any specific course, or it was again, I mean, downloading some free material, YouTube videos, MCQs? It was the same?
Same strategy for it also.
Okay. And Companies Act?
Same, I downloaded a material, and since Companies Act amendments are there every year, you had a very wonderful video on YouTube then where you explained every amendment that had been done in Companies Act till now and penalties related to it. So I downloaded my material and I amended my materials according to your YouTube videos. It helped a lot.
Okay. So what I am able to understand is that it was, I mean, apart from FM and economics also, you read our notes, apart from these for accounting, costing and Companies, like there was no specific course. It was basic Google plus a lot of MCQs plus a lot of YouTube videos.
Yes, sir.
That's great. It seems like a lot of segregated sources, but you are able to
manage.
Sir, yes, so you must have a strategy in your mind. So Abhishek, I mean, that's a very genuine question. Did any point it come in your mind that यार मतलब पता नहीं क्या ये सफिशिएंट है, क्या मैं सही पढ़ रहा हूँ, क्योंकि एक चीज वहां से पढ़ ली, एक चीज वहां से पढ़ ली, क्या ये कभी दिमाग में आया कि क्या मैं ठीक जा रहा हूँ, या हमेशा से था कि नहीं ठीक जा रहा हूँ, सेल्फ स्टडी इज द बेस्ट मोड, मैं कर लूंगा?
सर, इंजीनियर होने के नाते हम लोग 10th के बाद से ही कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम की तैयारी करने में लग जाते हैं।
हाँ जी।
तो देखा जाए तो मैं पिछले 10 साल से कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम्स की तैयारी कर रहा हूँ, कभी जेई के लिए, कभी इंजीनियरिंग में गेट वगैरह के लिए, कभी कैट के लिए, कभी इसके लिए। तो सर एग्जाम देते देते एक आइडिया लग जाता है कि एग्जाम की प्रिपेयर करने के लिए क्या करना जरूरी है। सिंपल है कि सिलेबस जो दी है उस पर स्टिक करो, सोर्सेज लिमिटेड रखो और बार बार रिवाइज करते रहो। जितनी जरूरत है उससे ज्यादा पढ़ने की जरूरत नहीं है, क्योंकि एग्जाम में हर तबके के बच्चे बैठेंगे। तो क्वेश्चन इसी ढंग के हिसाब से बनाई जाती है कि हर टाइप के स्टूडेंट इसे आंसर कर पाए। तो क्वेश्चन बहुत ज्यादा हार्ड नहीं होंगे, बहुत ज्यादा लेंथी नहीं होंगे। अगर आपकी बेसिक क्लियर है, आपने प्रैक्टिस की है, उसे काफी बार रिवाइज किया है, तो आप एग्जाम क्लियर कर सकते हो।
बिल्कुल। तो when you did self preparation, were you even able to manage the numerical part? That was too much in the exam. I think there were 10 questions. And what was your strategy with respect to numerical? के टफ न्यूमेरिकल करने हैं या सिर्फ इजी या मीडियम? व्हाट वाज योर स्ट्रेटजी?
Sir, I have seen numerical asked in past year in RBI exam. Those numericals were not very hard at all. That were easy to medium level. Also, I thought that exam will be of 40 minutes and there are 6 subjects to cover. So they will not give very hard numericals that will take 5 to 10 minutes of your time. And even if such numericals are there, it is best to skip such numericals, because why to give 5 to 10 minutes for just one answer, one question? There are plenty of questions available. So my strategy always that to practice easy to medium level of numericals, because more than that they will not ask, and if they ask, it's best to skip that question.
Exactly.
So I practiced easy to medium level of numericals, not more than that, never.
So that was a very clear-cut strategy. Easy, medium करने हैं. Did you focus on current affairs anytime apart from GA in phase 1, paper 1? For paper 2, do you think that current affairs are important?
Sir, I don't think current affairs are that important for paper 2, in phase 2, paper 2, and also phase 1, paper 2. some question might be asked, but it's not worthwhile to for 1-2 question to go for एक question के लिए आप 3 महीने या 4 महीने का जनरल अवेयरनेस पढ़े जा रहे हैं तो सर ये ROI इसमें कुछ ज्यादा है नहीं तो जो बिना सिलेबस जो सिलेबस में प्रेस्क्राइब किया उसी से पढ़ें.
I also feel the same. There is already so much of defined syllabus and that is good technical conceptual syllabus. करंट अफेयर्स में से अगर एक आधा क्वेश्चन पूछ भी लेते हैं तो आई डोंट थिंक इट्स अ बिग डील. उसके लिए यू नीड नॉट गो इनटू करंट अफेयर्स. दैट इज द मेन डिफरेंस व्हेन यू प्रिपेयर फॉर एग्जाम लाइक आरबीआई एंड सेबी. आरबीआई इज अ वेरी करंट अफेयर्स फोकस्ड एग्जाम. सेबी इज अ काइंड ऑफ अ थ्योरेटिकल एग्जाम. सो उसमें आपको करंट अफेयर पढ़ने की जरूरत नहीं है. Descriptive English. I would also like to tell the marks that has been obtained by Abhishek. He has got very good marks in paper 271, though his marks in English are in 50s. So Abhishek, what could be the reason for you getting low marks in descriptive English?
So first of all, I got to know from candidates beforehand that interface is going to be very poor. So I bought a very old keyboard from my brother and I started practicing from it. But even then, the interface was still many times poorer than what I was doing at home. That keyboard was very hard to press. You have to, in a scrolling part, you have to do a vertical scroll and horizontal scroll. So my strategy was that I will focus on not making too much grammatical or spelling mistake, and I should adhere to the word limit. So I think on trying to focus on those two areas, I think I might have sacrificed my content part. So that might be the reason for my low marks in English.
आपको लगता है कि कंटेंट पार्ट पे भी इक्वली फोकस करना चाहिए along with your grammatical and speed and everything.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Did you practice any mock test of English before the exam? Full length mock test, something like that, where you
No, sir,
wrote for about 90 minutes or 60 minutes? Sorry.
No, sir. I think that is one of my drawbacks in my preparation, that I didn't give any mock test for English. I thought if I try to do it on my own, I used to practice typing with timer, but I didn't give any specific mock test. I should have given. In retrospective, I think I should have given mock test for English. That would have helped me to increase my score.
And you earlier said you gave around 50 mock tests before your exam, right?
Yes, sir.
So what is the importance of mock test in your view, and how do you analyze a mock test? From what angles? I mean, what do you see after giving a mock test?
Sir, being from non-commerce background, I said that my problem was that I didn't know that what type of question would be asked from accounts, commerce, companies act, and what will the level of those questions. So only one thing would help me in tackling that was mock test. Mock test gives us idea that what will the level of question asked, what types of question will be asked. So that was my strategy for giving mock test, that it will be help me prepared for facing the actual exam. So I used to give mock test, 40 minutes mock test were there, and then I used to analyze the mock test, that where did I did mistake, was there any field that I was not studying. That if I used to come across new concept, I used to add it to my notes. I used to Google it, that and then I used to add it to my notes, and then I used to revise it multiple times. So and the analyzing part of mock test took more time than the actual test, than giving the actual test. So I think analyzing the mock test is equally important or more important than giving the test. And one should not worry much about how much marks they are getting. Even if they are getting low marks, it's good. That some mock tests I used to get like 100, I used to get 40 marks, 50 marks. So it didn't discourage me at all, because I knew that I'm learning something new. If I'm coming across new concepts, it is beneficial for me only, because then in an exam, I will not be surprised that if I face some new questions of that, I will be prepared for the exam.
That's a very good point you have made, because some people refrain from giving mock test just by the fear of that what if they get low marks. So that's a very good point he has made, that mock test is not only to evaluate yourself, mock test is also to learn. If you are not able to solve, say, even 25 questions out of 50, so there is an opportunity to learn from those 25 questions, maybe see those questions, Google them, see what is the theory behind that and why that particular answer is the answer of that question. So take mock test from learning opportunity also, not only from evaluation perspective. And yes. Abhishek, you basically read from a lot of sources and then you compiled a lot of data. So how did you plan your revision? How many times did you do revision?
Sir, must have revised the entire syllabus more than 20 times
Oh
because my
God,
memory is not that
20 times.
my memory is uh, my memory is not at strong, so I need to revise to keep it in my mind. So I must have revised the entire syllabus more than 20 times.
So you
So
used to
that was my
revise.
strategy.
So you used to revise from your notes?
Yes, sir, from my notes,
Your
from my
compiled
basic
notes.
material,
Yeah.
compiled notes. Yes, sir.
Okay.
That was a strategy that I have to revise as much time as possible, and I have to give mocks and MCQs as much time as possible.
And you also gave All India mock test with EduTab. So what was your rank
Yes, sir.
in those tests?
So I was consistently under 100 or 150 in all those 6 mock tests.
Okay.
And those mock tests were also quite good. They gave an idea that what types of question will be at what will the level and where do we stand in all India level. Because many people were attempting that mock test.
Yeah, huge number of people were attempting, and
Yes, sir.
I know. I mean, a lot of people who are attempting those mock tests regularly and getting ranks in top 200, 300 have ultimately cleared SEBI Grade A exam.
Yes, sir.
And now coming to your interview, Abhishek. So, how did you plan your interview preparation? Did you give any mock test?
Yes, sir. I gave EduTab's free mock interview.
So,
it was a good initiative.
Was it helpful to you? Was there any learning
Yes,
out
sir,
of that for you?
Yes, sir. It was very much helpful. It actually provided for the base of my preparation. That it was a 1 hour long mock interview, in which I came to know that particular fields in which I have to focus for interview, like my personal information, like from personal profile based questions, like from where I am, where I have done my schooling, and where I have done my engineering. Then there are questions about my family background, what my father do, what my mother do. Then the HR questions, like I'm a mechanical engineer, and I was 100% sure that SEBI will ask me that as a being a mechanical engineer, what is your role in SEBI? And they did ask. The first question of this was this only, that being a mechanical engineer, how will you contribute to SEBI? And HR questions like that. Then current affairs related to securities market. I came to know that I have to read some newspaper. I read a Business Standard and Business Line of the Hindu. These 2 newspapers I religiously followed for my current affairs related to securities market. And then questions related to mechanical engineering. 2 questions were asked related to my mechanical engineering current affair questions. And then some concepts related to securities market that they asked one to like investor protection fund, SEBI regulations, and swing trading. These 2 some conceptual questions were there related to security market that they might ask. So you need to be well versed with all the conceptual topics, conceptual definitions of securities market.
Great. So that was about the mock interview. So after the mock interview, you had your learnings and you prepared for that. And
yes,
what
sir.
happened in the actual interview? Were the questions on the same lines, and what kind of question did they ask you? Can you just brief it out for our viewers?
Yes, sir. Interview can be divided into parts. Like they asked me about my background, where I did my engineering, what my family background. Then the first question I told that they asked me was, as a mechanical engineer, what will we do in SEBI? So I was prepared for that. Then they asked some recent news, like what is a 10-year G-Sec for RBI for India, in US, in Germany, something like that. Then some definitions related to securities market, some question from my mechanical engineering background, and some question related to SEBI. That if you're giving interview of SEBI, you should know everything about SEBI, like when it is formed, rules and regulations related to it, number of departments in SEBI. They asked me that how many departments are there in SEBI, and there are 23 departments. I didn't know the answer of all 23 departments, so I started giving. And after 10 departments, I was blind. My mind was going blank. What should I answer after that? And they were looking at me like they're expecting more. So max, I was able to tell them 10 to 15 departments. So, and some questions related to investor protection fund, etc.
Okay, so basically about SEBI, about current affairs, and about yourself.
Yes.
So I am just curious to know what did you answer when they asked you as a mechanical engineer, why do you want to join SEBI? What was your answer?
I had a well-prepared answer for that. I accepted the fact that being a mechanical engineer, my degree will not be directly helpful, but during my course of engineering, have developed a reasonable level of aptitude and aptitude that will help me in, and it has given me a problem-solving kind of attitude, and that will be helpful in SEBI. And I will be able to grasp the concept easily and more early than other people's, and it will be helpful in discharging my duty towards CV. So, question this and answer.
Did they seem convinced?
Yes, sir, they were convinced it was a good answer. I had prepared for early on that, and they seemed satisfied.
That was a very possible question, and that they did ask you that. You said they asked a lot of questions about GSEC of India, US, and they also asked you about GSEC of Germany and all.
Yes, sir.
So, did you know the answer to all these questions, or some of the questions were like you said, no, sir, I don't know?
No, sir. That GSEC, I know that they might ask of India, and if possible, they might ask of USA because it is the most developed country in the world. But I didn't thought that they will ask GSEC of Germany. That was totally out of my thinking. So when they asked for Germany, I didn't know the answer. So I'd at least tell them with a smile that, sorry, sir, I don't know the answer of Germany. So they moved on. And some 1-2 questions were also there. Like they asked me a particular term related to commodities market. I've never had that term before. So I told that, no, sir, I didn't know the answer to that. Even my mechanical engineering, they asked 2 questions. I was able to answer 1 question, and the other question, I didn't know that. So I said that, no, sir, I didn't know that question. I don't know the answer to that question. So, and they moved on to the next. So I didn't feel any nervous or pressure that I'm not able to answer. I think they don't expect that a candidate should know all the answers. They just check that if you don't know the answer, what is your reaction to that? So one must maintain a calm and composure for the interview, and should not panic that I don't know the answer. What should I do? Just tell with calmly that sorry, sir, I don't know this answer, and then they will immediately move on to the next question.
Yes, that's a very good perspective, Abhishek. So it is really nice. I could get some insights from you, and our viewers who would listen to this would definitely be more aware now that how to prepare if you are doing self-study. Though I think that it's a mixture of self-study plus some standard sources that you followed. But it's a very good, insightful interview. Now, before leaving, Abhishek, you want to give any message, or you want to thank anyone who helped you in your journey?
Yes, I would like to thank my parents, my family, and friends who have supported throughout my journey. And for the fellow aspirants, I would like to say that if you are consistent enough, if you are focused and know what to study and how much to study, you will be able to crack this exam. You will surely be cracked the exam, and you have to be confident enough. Throughout my journey, I was always confident that if I follow my strategy, I will be crack this exam. I will be able to clear it.
So basically, self-belief is very, very important.
Yes, self-belief is very, very important, and consistency. And if you have to stick to the syllabus and follow one particular source. You have to don't follow tons of sources. Stick to a particular source, revise it multiple times, and be consistent. And then certainly you will taste success.
Thank you, Abhishek. That's a very nice message. Stick to one source and revise it multiple times, and self-belief. That is very, very important. You're preparing for any exam, whatever may be your aptitude level, but you must have self-belief, and that self-belief obviously will not come just by being a fake self-belief, but you need to work hard for it. So thanks, Abhishek, and I wish I could meet you sometime in future in Mumbai, right? And get to see the SEBI office. Thanks for now. Have a nice day. Bye-bye, Abhishek.
Welcome, sir. Thank you, sir. Bye.